The following show is a Monkey Barrel comedy production. Like everywhere else in the world, Monkey Barrel Comedy has shut its doors due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We are working around the clock to create and produce new content to keep everyone entertained as best we can. However, in order to keep our shows on the air and to ensure we can open our doors again once this crisis has passed, we are asking you for donations. Please take a moment to visit the link in the description and donate whatever you can. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Cool. All right. So who's on your stag? Is it? Oh, fucking loads of you, Tom. All right, cool. Are you guys on it as well? No, you just look like two creepy. You like two creepy guys who really want to be on the stag thing. Honestly, it looks like you 15 years in the future. It doesn't work out, essentially, is what we're saying. Cool. All right, so who are you marrying?
Catherine, she's not here.
She's not here? Where is she?
Denmark.
Oh, she's in Denmark. Fucking, all right, cool. All right, fantastic. And how did you meet Catherine?
I was on holiday in Thailand.
You were on holiday in Thailand. Always the way you want to start your best man speech is where they met on holiday in Thailand. Cool. Just really weird. You're not even on the stag, like. Just the fucking the Churchill dog, fucking. Oh yes. Oh no. We're gonna someone talk to you guys in a second, find out what the fuck's going on here. Cool. What do you do, Tom? What do you do? You're an electrician, fantastic. What does your missus do? What does Catherine do?
She works for Danish TV.
She works for Danish TV. What does she do for Danish TV?
She's a coordinator.
She's a coordinator. You don't know what that is, do you?
No.
Nope. So do you live in Denmark now, or you didn't? Whereabouts in Denmark you live in? Copenhagen. It's a good city. I like the city, man. Cool. Who's your best man? Have you got a best man?
Yeah, just there.
Wow, look at you, dressed in black for the occasion. Celebrating more awake for his freedom than a stag do. What's your name? Michael. How do you know him, Michael?
We grew up together.
You grew up together. Okay, but you're not friends. You just grew up together. What do you do, Michael?
I'm an RV pilot.
You're
ROV pilot.
an ROV pilot. What's an ROV pilot?
Fly robots in the sea.
You fly robots in the sea. All right, crash planes. You fly robots in the sea. All right, okay. So, what are the robots? Okay, fuck off. So, what's an ROV?
Remotely operated vehicle.
Okay, cool. All right, so, all right. And what sort of vehicles? What sort of vehicles are they? Mazdas. All right, cool. Hopefully the rest of you lot will get smarter. Who'd you do that for, man? Or it sounds like a hobby. It's what it sounds like. It sounds like you don't get paid. Who'd you do that for? You do that for Deep Ocean. Deep Ocean is a thing, not where you do it. Did you start on like the swans in a pond and then work your way up? Pedalos, and then you just went to planes and thought, fuck, I can't fly the planes, so I'm just going to keep crashing them into the sea. Oh, do you know what? They work here as well. Is that? So what's the purpose of you with this hobby that you have?
Your MI5 backstory.
It's, you know what? You're in a bad state when that guy's heckling you. Go. So who'd you do that for? And then what a Deep Ocean? What's the purpose?
Not too sure. Oil and gas discovery. Oil and gas.
Okay. Wow. It does shit. We've all shat in the sea. Cool. All right. Fantastic. And he's the best one. Fucking hell. How fucked are the rest of you? He's the choice of best man. All right, man. Cool. And is it just your friends and family? You got her friends and family with you? What's the deal?
Yeah, dad's here.
Where's the dad? Where's the dad? Oh, it's you. All right, cool. What's your name, buddy? Brian. And are you from Denmark then, or are you from? You're from Denmark. And what do you do? What do you do, man? IT. IT. Cool. See, it's easy. That's what you do, and you tell us. It's that fucking simple. Fly robots in the fucking sea. That's just because you took the easy one. Oh, don't start fucking getting arsey now, Danish man. Go. What was that? I got management, and I'm getting nothing else. I'm just you do what my management? Identity and management. So what's identity and management? Okay. It's really weird. It's just like I'll be honest with you. Right, I have like been a dickhead at most gigs. That's where I live on right there. But tonight I am not competing with any member of this fucking stag do. Genuinely, just the massive. Honestly, I can feel the whole room just going. Oh, they're all wankers, aren't they? Every one of them. Every single one of them is a fucking knobhead. You're the father of bride, man. You're the father of bride. Fantastic. Give it up for the father of bride, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for the father of bride. It's always nice to meet a man who's happy to go drinking with a guy that's fingered his little girl. What was that? He doesn't need a best man speech. That guy's heckling you now. The horror on your faces, ladies. Come on. You've all been fingered. Every one of you. Every one of you. All the women in the room who've not been fingered, make some noise right now. Fucking told you. Some of you will be getting fingered later on tonight. Your missus probably is. So, just teaching her best friend to coordinate really well. Cool. Enjoy the rest of your stag. It's going to be a long fucking weekend. Look him in the eye, mate. Look him in the eye. You can't. You can't. All right, so we got we got you guys in. Cool. We'll come back and chat with you guys as we go. Hello, how are you doing, sir? What is your name? David. Where are you from, David?
I'm from Hike in the Scottish Borders.
You're from Hike at the Scottish Borders. What do you do, David, in the Scottish Borders?
Manage a yard.
You manage a yard.
You want to know what kind of yard?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I want to know what kind of yard. Yeah. You continue to become a prick in the next 15 years. It's amazing. Are you with this lot? Are you all together? Oh fuck! That explains it. It's. I look at you, Benidorm. I don't care. I don't care if there's a storm coming. Are you all from the Borders? No. How do you guys know each other? Is it it's the first time all the swingers have been together, or? Because these two look like they've partnered up. That's what it looks like, no matter what. Welcome to the yard. All right, so we're good. David, what's your name, buddy? Stuart. Where are you from, Stuart?
Rugby.
You're from Rugby. What do you do, Stuart, from Rugby?
I work in purchasing.
You work in purchasing. What do you purchase? What something do you purchase? Rehypnol. Just a really fucking quiet Rehypnol. That's what happens when you try and think about it and don't tell the truth. They fucking fill in the gaps themselves. What sort of things you purchased, man? Anal beads. They're not even giving you a chance right now. They're not even giving you a chance. But we are seeing like quite a lot into the psyche of this fucking stag do. That they think the only two things a man can purchase are Rehypnol and anal beads. You fucking don't want to get too drunk on your stag do. Last thing you want's the hen's father pulling anal beads at your ass. Starting you like a lawnmower. The speeches at your wedding would be fucking amazing, by the way. Cool. So, what sort of industry? Just go with the truth, man. Stop lying. No one's going to think you are cooler no matter what job you do. Defense. All right, cool. Do you do underwater flying shit? Submarines. You do submarines. Okay. That seems like too much of a coincidence of a guy that does remote control submarines and you buy submarines. That seems to be too much of a coincidence for this gig. So I don't believe you. Name me 4 types of submarine. Yellow. I have not spoke to that guy yet, and he's my favourite person in this fucking gig.
Can I say before I say anything else, thank you guys. I was watching the start of the show for sitting here. Thank you so much for sitting in the front row of a comedy show. This is one of the worst fucking places in the world to be sitting. I'd rather be sitting in North Korea right now. Naked. Wearing only a Donald Trump mask. Than sitting in the front row of a comedy show. Because you guys, you get asked all the questions, you take all the bullets, you take all the shit. You have to make appropriate eye contact with the comedian at all times. You've been a bit cheeky, haven't you? Yes, you have. But you're my favorite. I fucking love you. Nothing bad is going to happen to you while I'm on stage. Relax, take a breath, enjoy the show. I love front row people. Second row are fucked. Second row are fucked. Second row disgust me in every possible way. You are the worst that society has to offer. Look at you, sitting there with your glasses on your face, pretending you're smarter than the rest of us. That's ridiculous. You see a blur, we see a book. That's how that works. You know what I mean? You know why I hate the second row? Because they're not brave enough to sit there. But they want to sit close enough that if there's any humiliation, they can taste it from you. That's all they want. Like if you start sweating, he's just going to lean and start licking the back of your neck. Just, so embarrassed about his life choices. Such perverts. With your sex dungeons in Dundee or wherever you come from, I don't know. But you know what, second row, you're never the worst. You're never the worst here. You're bad, but you're not the worst. No, that's always the back row. The back row. Look at them sitting all the way back away from the fun. Look, they're sitting away from the fun. They're sitting back there because they were terrified to sit anywhere near here because they were worried the comedian would ask them a simple question like, what's your name? Because that's all we do. We ask you, what's your name? And we move on because we have material. We don't really need you. I'm so special you're not. We don't care about your life in any way whatsoever. But they were terrified they wouldn't be able to answer a question like that without revealing something intimate about themselves. You know, you'd say to some guy, what's your name? And he'd panic and just look at you and go, oh, I've been cheating on my girlfriend for 2 years. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't mean to say that at all. Oh, but the lights and the pressure. Oh, and why is somebody licking the back of my neck? That's disgusting. So if you're sitting in the back row, he's cheating on you. That's what's happening there. People in the middle, you've never made a decision in your lives. You wouldn't know a risk if it came up and slapped your arse. You know what I mean? You guys are mostly in accounting, HR, and engineering. That's what you've done. Yes, some laughs of approval there. Yes. You die alone. Well done. Well done. My friend here, what's your name again? Tom. Good name, solid name. I was meant to. It's a great name. It's a fucking saint's name. When you were born, Tom, your parents looked at you with love and affection and said, let us give him the name Tom. He will have a good life, and that's what happened to you, Tom. Your parents loved you from the minute you were born, because, you know, when I was born, Tom, do you know what happened to me? My parents looked at me, and they felt nothing for me, which is why they called me Keith. Who does that to a child, Tom? Who looks at a beautiful baby boy and goes, Keith! Keith! I hate my name, Tom. I fucking hate it. It's like a really good name fell down a well and died, you know? It's like the name Tom was running through a meadow and it tripped in and went, Keith! It's like the sound a dying animal of an extinct species would make, like just before the dodo passed away. All you could hear was, Keith! Do you know what it's really like, Tom? Do you know what it's really like? It's like the worst sex you've ever had in your life. And you've woken up the next morning in bed with someone you shouldn't be in bed with. And your bodies are just stuck together with sweat and resentment. And you have to peel the skin away inch by slow, shameful inch. And all you can hear is, Keith! Yes, the next time any of you have bad sex, you'll think of me. That's how that works. Who knows, ladies, I might even be there with you. I might be there with you. I won't be having sex with you. I'll just be sitting in the corner of the room going, Keith! Over and over again. Which is why the sex would be so bad, because you can't enjoy sex when there's an Irishman standing in the corner of the room saying that name. I've tried. Nobody likes it. Nobody. So easy for my family, Tom. You know, they all had Irish names. My dad was Patrick. My brother was Patrick. My mother was Patrick. Everyone was Patrick. It's such a terrible joke. I just can't let it go. I can't. I should, but I can't. I just can't. But you, Tom, you were blessed. Blessed from the start. You really were. Great first name. Must have a great surname. What's your surname?
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Fuck off. Why didn't any of you tell me that Tom Lloyd was in the house? Why? Tom Lloyd, that's amazing. You sound like a footballer from the 70s who got away with sexual misconduct. That's fantastic. Today in the Crown Court, Tom Lloyd is freed of all charges. Yay! Tom Lloyd! You must have an original email. You must be like tomlloyd@gmail.com. There can't be fucking 72 of you. Was it tomlloyd.89 at gmail.com? Okay. That's tomlloyd.89 at gmail.com for anyone who lost their email list in the GDPR scandal. That's tomlloyd.89 at... Can we all email him tonight when we go home? Can we do that? Like at midnight, you don't know what an email is, fuck off. Can everybody else email him at midnight? Just whatever you're doing. Hi Tom, I'm behind you. Just something like that. Yeah, creepy. What's your password, Tom? What's your password? Look at him going, oh, fool me once, Irishman! You ever given your password to anyone, Tom? You ever given your No, I haven't either, man. It's a very fucking intimate secret. I didn't even think about it till a few weeks ago. And my wife said to me, she said we should really swap passwords just in case anything happens. And she immediately gave me hers. And I immediately said, I just need 3 days. Because I'm a good person now, but I wasn't always a good person. Somewhere there might be a secret folder reminds me of when I was a bad person, and every now and again it calls my name. Keith. I genuinely believe if you had to give up your password at your wedding with the vows, you wouldn't get married. I genuinely believe if the vows included, do you take this person till death do you part, and will you give me your password? No fucking way, that's too much. I wish there was more honesty at weddings, you know. I wish there was more honesty in the vows, you know. I look around this room. Oh, I look here. I see experience. Look at you. Oh, you've all been to weddings where you've looked at the bride and groom and gone, you're not going to last a year. You've all done it. We've all been there. It always happens. I wish there was more honesty in the vows. Do you take this person till death Do your part. I'll try. I'll fucking try. That's all I can do. I will try my very, very best. That's all I can offer you. Is that enough? Fine. Let's fucking get on with it. Last wedding I was at, it was a Jewish wedding in Jerusalem. If you've never been to a Jewish wedding, you should go. They're incredible. The ceremony's beautiful. If you've never been to Jerusalem, you should go to Jerusalem, one of the great cities of the world. Some of the greatest moments in history and fiction have taken place there. I say go to Jerusalem. Please do, unless, of course, you don't like Jews. If you don't like Jews, don't go to Jerusalem. You won't enjoy it. You really won't. There's fucking loads of them there. Just loads. Like, I love Jews, and even I was like, ooh, this is too Jewy for me. This is too Jewy. I'm just covered in Jews. I am covered in Jews. Is it me or is it too Jewlicious? It's too Jewlicious. I'll be quite honest with you. I love Jews so much, I married a Jew. That's how much I love Jews. I think I married a Jew just so I could say the word Jew and get away with it. Because if you say the word Jew wrong in just the slightest way these days, people immediately think that you're what's the word? A member of the Labour Party. That's right. All the people cheering are Tories going, and we hate the Muslims. It's amazing, yes. We've got it all covered. Yes, we do. I have to say, living in England the last while, watching it from an outsider's point of view, it's been like watching a Ryanair flight coming out of the sky on fire. And in your heart, you're like, oh my God, those poor people. But in your head, you're like, oh, they should have known better. They should have known better. Because even as the plane is heading towards the earth, inside they're still trying to sell you scratch cards. That's what they're doing. All the money goes to charity. No, it doesn't. It goes to Michael O'Leary, a lying bunch of fuckers. We know where it goes. And eventually when the plane does hit the ground, you know, all you're going to hear is doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. You've landed on the on-time Ryanair flight. You're dead, but you're here. I can't mock the English, though, you know, I can't. I want to, but I can't because I have married an English Jewish woman. I have what some of you might call an English child. And I say that because sometimes if there's Irishmen in the audience, they get very nationalistic about this. I did a show recently in London, and after the show, this guy came up to me. He was screaming at me. I'll never forget this. He was like, ha! An Irishman having an English child. What a shame this is upon your family. And I'll never forget what I said to him. I'll never forget. I looked him right in the eye. And I said, you know what, Dad, she's your granddaughter. I even called her Patrick, for fuck's sake. You're so upset I did that. It was such a terrible joke, it wasn't worth the callback. Well, I did it anyway, that's how I roll. I don't go for any of that nationalistic nonsense, especially when it comes to my daughter. If you've ever been through a pregnancy, you know anything can go wrong at any given moment. When my daughter arrived and she was healthy, I couldn't have been a happier man. My daughter is this golden tree of light in my life, and I love her more than anything in this world. Her attitude to me, however, has changed since Brexit. There's no denying. Things are awkward in the house now, you know. Every time myself and my wife walk into the room, she sees my wife and she's like, oh, Mummy. And she sees me and she's like, oh, immigrant. I'm so proud it's her first word. And I know there's always tension about immigrants. There is, and that's why I'm so blessed that I am an Irish immigrant, because we are the best at it. We are so good at being immigrants that racist taxi drivers talk to us about other immigrants. Got into a cab recently in London. Within seconds, the taxi driver turned around going on about the fucking immigrants. And I was sitting in the back going, I know the fucking immigrants. But he was Irish as well, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Just a bit of crack between the lads. That's all it was. Not sure which joke you laughed at, but well done. That every day, the news and the politics gets fucking mental and affects everyone's lives. I have a friend, he's down in London, he's a photographer, and he had a job recently where he had to take a photograph of the new cabinet, and he was called into Downing Street, and there he was standing outside Downing Street shouting, "Boris, please, can you move your cabinet slightly to the left? Just slightly to the left." No. If you move them any more to the right, they have to wear the hoods. I'm sorry, that's how it goes. No, Michael Gove, not the leather hoods, you dirty little monkey, no. We're always fascinated by what goes on in British politics in Ireland. We love watching it. Oh, and I was so excited when the DUP got involved in everything. Oh my God, we were so excited. For our Danish friends, if you don't know the DUP, let me tell you why we were excited, because they hate gay people. We were so excited. They fucking hate gay people with a vengeance. And we were unbelievably excited because we have our first ever gay prime minister, and we couldn't wait for any sort of border negotiations, because the DUP would have to march down from the hills with their anger and their hatred and their homophobia, and then our prime minister would arrive from Dublin. He has no hair, I just love doing that. And he'd look at the DUP and he would say to them, he'd say, "So, tell me, would you like a soft border or a hard border?" This would make the DUP so angry they'd start screaming at him. They'd be like, "Get thee behind me, Satan!" And he would look at them and go, "What, already? Wow. Oh, you guys are faster than Grindr." I've never understood homophobia. I've never understood it. I have been a victim of homophobia, and I'm not gay, so I don't understand the rules. I really don't. I was doing a little gig at home in Tipperary. It was a lovely gig with lovely people, and I finished the gig, and I wanted to get some chips. So I went to the chipper, because that's where they keep the chips. That's a true story. I say this to you, my friend, because you've been looking at me the whole time with the expression of a man, and all you've heard is fiddly-dee, fiddly-dee, fiddly-dee. You look like a man waiting for Riverdance to start. I'm so sorry, it's not going to tonight. But come back with me to my little chipper in Tipperary, because I walk out of this chipper and these three guys are standing across the road from me, and one of them shouts at me. He's like, "Hey, faggot." And this happens. This does happen. Sometimes you're in a small town and they see that you have long hair and that you are eating food with a utensil. They see that and they get so confused about your sexuality. They don't know where the penis goes. And it's such a hateful word, faggot. It's such a hateful word that I wished right there and then, on behalf of every gay friend I've ever had, I wished I had a van parked behind me, filled with an army of naked gay men. And I'd open the door of my van, and my army of naked gay men would run across the street, and they would take the homophobe and just start slapping him in the face with their penises, just slapping him in the face with their penises till he had a black eye, till he had two black eyes, till he was cockeyed. That's what it'd be. And then they'd run back to the van, disappear over the horizon, never be seen again. And homophobes would never use the word faggot again because they heard what happened to this guy. Yeah. But I still haven't done it. There's logistical issues. And there's ethical issues as well, I'll be honest with you. It's not like the gay community jumped up and down with joy when I suggested I could end homophobia by taking several of their members, asking them to climb into a van, take off all of their clothes. I would then drive them to an area where I believe there's homophobic activity taking place. I would then incite the homophobic activity and ask them to run across the street and sexually assault someone. That plan was fucking genius. Genius. So I think I've covered everything I need to talk about. Any questions?
But I saw my dad, right, and I was sort of dressed, I had a sort of t-shirt on, something like this, and my hair was all a mess, and he looked at me and he went, "You look like you've been pumped through Primark." Now, a couple of people laughing there. That's maybe because some of you might not know the word pumped. People that are laughing, they've been pumped, right? Pumped's a Scottish word, right?
It means sex over here. I need to explain it because I don't want you all to think we're farting on each other over here just to show. I love you, come here. Right? Pump is a type of sex in Scotland, but it's a very specific kind of sex. The pumping, right? It's a very rigorous affair, right? It's quite aggressive, right? I mean, it's like, I mean, you wouldn't like, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't carry your wife across the threshold, you know, you're getting fucking pumped tonight. There's no love or romance or passion to a pumping. The Queen has never been pumped. Never, right? Maybe she has, I don't know, maybe she had. Maybe Phillips came in, I want to see the crown jewels, do you, Elizabeth? Here we go, pam, 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 God, pam, pam, Queen. Yeah, fuck the Queen. There's the Queen getting shot. Oh man, yes. But I turned 28 recently, which is all right. I'm not. Have you seen these things people are doing, like the 10-year challenge, about how they looked 10 years ago compared to? And I'm like, they're just like, well, like I was still sad and wanking in a closet, right? Sort of thing. I haven't changed that much, right? The main thing I've noticed, see the hangover I got when I was 18. That's how I feel now when I wake up sober. Have you noticed this? It's like, I'm terrified to when I get older. I mean, like, dude, you must feel like shit when you wake up. Like, you must be like, Jesus Christ, kill me now! It's like, it's terrible. Another thing as well I noticed, and the main thing now I'm a bit older, is I'm getting annoyed at, like, shitty wee things. Like, wee things that shouldn't annoy you, but they fucking, right? Like, the main one at the moment, right? Does anyone else think that the peel here flap on the corner of ham packets, does anyone else think that should just say, fuck it, just get a knife? I'll take that one clap. I'll just But it's not the worst. Ready meals are worse. And that's like, you know, and you'll all have done this, but it'll be the cellophanes on it, and you peel it, and it just likes to go right the way around. The whole thing, and there's fucking shards of plastic everywhere. Like, do you know why they call them ready meals? Because by the time you get to eat them, you're about ready to fucking kill yourself, honestly. And oh God, another one at the moment is laundry. Oh, like, and I know there's some students in, so you won't relate to this bit, right? But you'll be taking laundry out, right? And have you noticed, when you take it, like, hang it up, why do you never do it in 2 or 3 trips? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to challenge yourself to the one big ball of laundry, right? And you've kind of got to walk like this, like a heavenly pregnant woman, can't see fuck all, you're like this, coming round the thing, and you'll get about halfway to the drying thing, and then a wee sock will drop. Fuck's sake. So you've kind of got to bend down, pick it up, and as soon as you get back up, another bloody sock down, pick it up, you're like, I hate my fucking life, right? It's like, stupid things, man. Another one as well is I hate being like skint, right? But I get annoyed when other people say they're skint, but they're no really skint. Do you know what I mean? When like, oh God, I'm so skint. Honestly, I wanted to buy that scented candle, but I couldn't afford it. I'm like, fuck off. Like being skint, and some of you'll beat in this position. It's like, you know when you've got like, you have to go into Tesco and you look at your bank account and you've got 53 pence. And you've got to do like a supermarket sweep thing to see, like, oh, I can get cheap noodles for fuck all, yes, right? So I think, like, I'm at this stage now, right, that I'm genuinely more terrified about being mugged than I used to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm more scared because if a guy comes over, I'll just need to be like, oh, sorry, mate, I've no money. See, what happens is my overdraft, right, comes in. And what basically, my Netflix comes out on a Monday, so that's fucks me. And, my, you know, we've got Amazon as well. I don't know why we fucking need that, but that comes out as well. And he's like, no, I don't worry, but no, let me explain, mate. It's me. Do you know, because usually we get a big shopping, but we usually go to Lidl, but fuck me, we went to Tesco, that humped us, and that I can, yeah, I know, I saw you brought your wee knife and everything, I'm sorry, mate. Another thing I can't stand, do you ever go into when you go into the fridge and there's no milk left? you might as well kick me up the arse. Like, honestly, I hate that. It's like, because you know what I mean? You commit to making the cup of tea. You do everything first. It's like, put the tea bag in, boil the kettle, you're waiting it, just like, yeah, I love my life, right? Just waiting on this. Pour it in, you've done everything nice, and you go into the fridge, no milk, right? And it's a disaster, because I don't know what it is about Scotland, but for some reason when there's no milk, that's the tea fucked. Like, done. Like, if somebody's like, just have it black, he's like, cut my fucking dick off, actually! Get it in the sink! It's ridiculous. It's so silly. So I've got a girlfriend. I know, plot twist. No, it's like, shut up, I know what you're thinking. Got a girlfriend, she's awesome, man. We've been together for like 5 years now, and she's cool. She's like got nipples, she breathes, she's the one. She's awesome. But I had to speak to her recently, right, because like I don't think that I want to have kids, right? And I had to sort of, I had to sit her down, and I was like, look, babe, I don't think that I want to have kids. And it kind of upset her more than I thought it would, because she's 7 months pregnant, but I mean, get over it, do you know what I mean? I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, fuck off. This is what happens when your mum and dad come to gigs. No, but there's a lot of reasons I don't want kids, right? But one of the main ones, I don't understand the weird questions that people ask when folk have kids. Like the main one, why do people want to know the weight of a baby? Have you noticed this? And it's when we just answer it like it's not the weirdest fucking thing you ask. Like my brother had a kid recently, first question's like, what weight's the baby, son? Like, I don't know, Sharon, what weight are you? What weight's the baby? Is this a child or a fucking Christmas turkey? Like, and it's such a creepy thing, it's like something a cannibal would ask, isn't it? That's a big baby, is it? It's a heavy baby. And let's be honest, when you ask someone what weight the baby is, what you're essentially saying is, so what's the damage down there then? How burst is your clunge, Sharon? But anyway, I'll tell you this before I go, right? So as I say, I've been who was in a relationship? Was it you two in a relationship? I'm fucking hell. I'm not asking for a threesome. Calm down, fucking. I'll be middle spoon. And I was like, no, but people that are in a couple for a long time, right? I'll know what I mean by this, right? But me and my girlfriend can sit in like in silence, right, for like hours, like of the day, and it's lovely. It's fine. Like if one of us speaks, it kind of ruins the fucking love a wee bit. You know? And you'll know what I mean by this, but see when you're sat in this silence, when one of you does speak, it's always the best fucking thing ever. Like the best thing you can say. And my girlfriend came out with a pelter the other day. She sat on her iPad, right, and she went, baby, do you know that the female blue whale's clitoris is the size of a Lamborghini? She's like, can you believe that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I can. I can believe that. I was like, it'd be weird if I challenged that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, well, for the photos I saw on Google Images, I mean, looked more the size of a motorcycle, but a car, for fuck's sake. But it got me thinking, you never hear that statement the other way around, do you? You never hear, like, some dude just, like, on about his car, like, Davey, have you seen the new car? Oh, beautiful, mate. Honestly, beautiful. 4-litre, 12-cylinder engine, leather interior. Size of wheels, clip boy. Oh! Beautiful. Beautiful. Hi, Denise. Hi. Wait till you see the engagement ring that Simon bought me. Oh my God. Wait, the rock on it. It's the size of a pigeon's cervix. It really is. And it kind of, I was thinking about this whole thing, right? But do you think when like whales are having sex, right? And the female whale's there and the male whale's sort of trying to find the clitoris, right? And do you think the female whale's like, it's the size of a fucking car! For God's sake! And he's like, well, I don't know where you fucking parked it, do I? I don't. Folks, you've been genuinely lovely. You've got a great night ahead. I've been Joe McTernan. Thank you so much. Cheers.
And then you've lost sight of us and you were like, she's a fucking fetus, and some of you panicked that I'm not meant to be here. It's alright. I quite like looking young. I'm now closer to 30 than 20 empty and I'm buzzing to not look it. Really, I wish I could go back to like 17-year-old Lauren and be like, mate, don't panic, it's absolutely fine, you're gonna absolutely love it. But when I was that age, I was so obsessed with wanting to look older because I was very cute and sweet and adorable, and I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be hot. I wanted to be sexy, I wanted to be stunning, and I did not look like that at all. And all my girl mates were like these goddesses who could pass for 10 years older, and they went, babe, don't be upset, you're in excellent company, like babies, puppies, kittens, you know what they've all got in common? They're cute, sweet, adorable, and everyone loves them for it. It's like, is that meant to fucking make us feel better? Because you know what else they've got in common? Is no one wants to shag any of them, do they? No. And the kind of people who do, not the kind of people I want to go out with, in all honesty. I think I'm absolutely fine with it. You can get away with loads when you got a baby face, though. Get away with so much, and I've realised that in the last couple of years, that you can just get away with trouble, get away with murder. I had the most embarrassing thing in my life happen to me in the supermarket last year. I was very, very hungover. Probably the most hungover I've ever been in my life. I live over the road from a shop, and I was like, right, I'm going to crawl to the shop. I'm going to get some hangover supplies, like crisps, cakes, sweets, don't care. I want shit, and I want it now. I'm going to crawl back to my house. I'm going to get under that duvet, and I'm going to have a hangover day. I'm not leaving this bed. That is what I'm going to do. So I army crawled to the shop, and I'm flinging everything in the basket, and my stomach starts bubbling, and it went, Lauren, are you hungover? I was like, you know fine well I'm hungover. It went, yeah, you're gonna be sick. I was like, I know I'm gonna be sick, that tends to happen on a hangover, but I live over the road, I'll be home in 5 minutes. My stomach went, no, you're gonna be sick now. I was like, I'm a 26-year-old adult woman, I'm not going to be sick in the middle of a supermarket, I've got more grace than that. And my stomach went, 5, 4. And I thought, I'm going to do it. Oh my God, I feel so sick. I'm going to be sick. There's no toilets in this shop. I thought, what do I do? Do I just be sick on myself? I can't do that. That's shameful. I used to work in a shop. I would be mortified if somebody did that to me and I had to clean it up on minimum wage. Can I make it back to my house? I don't think I can. I can't run that fast. What do I do? I had one thing to defend myself, Edinburgh. I had an empty Costa cup. So I'd had a little cup of tea on the way around the shop. I was like, Lauren Pattison, you've got one choice and one choice only to leave here with any dignity. There's nobody in this aisle. All you've got to do is get the sick in the cup, put the lid back on, leave, put it in the bin, burn your clothes, move house, reevaluate your entire life up to this point. That is all you've got to do, very simple. And I don't want you to think I'm a fucking amateur. Of course I did it. I got the sick in the cup. The only issue was it just kept coming. And I don't know if any of you have been in Tesco on a Tuesday morning holding an overflowing Costa cup of your own sick. Not a high point. Not a high point at all. I thought, I've got to deal with this like an adult. I've made a mistake. I've got to deal with it like a responsible grown-up woman. So I cried. Really started to proper, you know, when all the rosé wine is just coming back out your eyeballs and you're like, ah! Embarrassed. I was so embarrassed, so hungover. I felt so bad. And I heard footsteps. And I thought, oh my God, if somebody sees this, it means it's happened. I can't live with that. And I look around, there's a tiny little shop assistant stood at the bottom of the aisle. It was like something like The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. We're just like facing each other. And she came up to us and went, are you okay? I'm quite clearly not okay. She went, what's happened? I mean, you don't have to be Sherlock to work out what's fucking happened. So yeah, there's a crying girl in a puddle of vomit. I think you can put 2 and 2 together. But I was so embarrassed I didn't want to say what had happened because I realised what a disgusting thing it was to do, and I was so mortified with myself, and she's being so nice. She went, darling, don't be upset. This happens to the best of us. I was like, does it fuck? Has Mary Berry ever thrown up in an Asda? No, she hasn't. This does not happen to the best of us. This happens to the worst of us like me. I'm a scumbag. And I'm crying more, and she's being kinder and kinder. And then she went, darling, honestly, just stop your tears. Do you need me to ring your mum or your dad? I was like, Isha thinks I'm a kid. That's why she's being so nice. If she knew I was a fully grown woman, she'd be much angrier, but she thinks I'm a kid. She's letting us off. I can still leave here with dignity. I just need a good excuse, and I can leave and pretend this never happened. But my ma didn't raise me to be a liar. Not at all. I can't lie for shit, so I just panicked and I went, I'm pregnant! I've got really bad morning sickness! And as it came out my mouth, I thought, you are the worst human on this planet, Lauren. You had a chance to own up, you had a chance to do the right thing, and you've just told the most horrific lie possible. And I turned to leave, and this woman grabbed us. I thought, fair enough, she knows I'm having her on. She's going to make us clean it up, that's absolutely fine. I deserve that. Maybe I'll get fined, I deserve that. She led us to the staff room. She sat us down on a little seat, And for an hour, she brought us magazines. She brought us cups of tea. I got free sandwiches. I got I had me hangover day in the fucking staff room. Best day of my life. I've done it 4 times since in different supermarkets. But I don't mind the stereotypes. I don't mind them at all because it lets us talk about where I'm from. There's a home bird who misses home. I love any excuse to talk about Newcastle. I don't get a lot of shit about being from Newcastle. People just seem quite keen to talk about it. Never had any bollocks until I went to Australia and they looked fucking terrified of me. I'd never had that before in my life. Every time I came on stage and started to speak, I could see actual fear in people's eyes, and I thought, maybe they don't understand this, maybe I'm talking too fast, I'll slow down. Absolute fear. And I thought, I don't know what's going on here. So one night I asked a girl who'd been smiling all the way through, I went, excuse me, I can't help but you're the only person who's looked at me kindly. Everyone else looks a little bit scared, why's that? And she went, have you heard of Geordie Shore? Which is not what I expected to come from her mouth. 11,000 miles and she's asking us about Geordie Shore. An Australian lady is asking me, a woman from Newcastle, if I've heard of Geordie Shore. I thought, of course I fucking have. It's the same as going up to Barack Obama and being like, are you familiar with racism? It's like, yeah, I think he knows. I think that affects his people directly. I think he's aware. I went, of course I've heard of Geordie Shore. Why? Turns out it's quite popular over there. They've got it, they like it, and suddenly everything made sense. Imagine if your sole reference point for this accent for Newcastle was fucking Geordie Shore. No wonder they looked scared. Every night just 100 Aussies going, oh my God, is she gonna shit on the stage? She's either gonna shit on the stage or try and fuck one of us, and I don't know which upsets me more. But once I knew about it, it was fine. It just meant I could acknowledge it, I could crack jokes about it. It was absolutely fine till my very last night in that country. I went to this bar I'd been going to all the time, and I was determined to try and make a friend. I had quite a lonely time out there. I thought, tonight, I'm going to have an amazing last night in this beautiful country, and I'm going to make a friend. I'm going to leave here with a pen pal. And I'm chatting away to the bartender, because the place is quite empty. Eventually, I hear someone come in. He sounds quite impatient behind us. I went, I've been served. You can jump in. I'm just chatting. I'm trying to make friends. And this big Aussie lad went, a real one? I was like, I'm assuming you've met a woman. Is it the accent? Do you know this accent? I can guess where you know the accent from. He went, I love Geordie Shore. I think it's incredible. I've seen every episode. Cannot believe I've met a real Geordie. What a day. I went, but tell you what, get your drink, come sit with me. I'll tell you all about Newcastle. You tell me where you're from. I'm dead keen to make friends. And he flipped like that and went, no thanks. I went, you've just said you love Geordie Shore, you've met a real Geordie, you said it was brilliant, why won't you come have a drink with us, have a chat? He went, I told you, I've seen every episode of Geordie Shore. I went, maybe he's worried I'm going to give him alcohol poison. I was like, don't worry, I'm not trying to flirt with you, I just want to make friends, I've got my own drink, don't worry, it'll be fine, why won't you come drink with me? He went, because I know what women from Newcastle are like. I shouldn't have asked, should I? I should not have asked. What he said next is the worst thing that anyone has ever said to us, and I had to delete my YouTube account because 4 separate people said I look like Eddie Izzard, but this is still the worst thing that anyone has ever said. I went, what are women from Newcastle like then, mate? He looks us dead in the eyes and goes, I know for a fact that by the time you finish that drink, you'll be on that bar with your flaps out. Oh, Edinburgh, that's the minute I realised how much I fucking love Newcastle. And am I going to let him talk to me about my hometown like that? Am I shite? Am I shite? Am I going to let him reduce my city to the worst stereotype like that? Am I fuck? No way. Am I going to let him talk about the women in my city like that and reduce us to nothing more but a stereotype from a TV show? Am I fuck? So I grew about 6 inches. I went, I think you need to watch your language, mate, and I think you need to get a little bit of respect, because women from Newcastle are angels. We do not have flaps. We have wings. So behave yourself. Watch who you're talking to. I know! Bloody luring us to a stereotype. I won't have that. And then I glassed him just so he knew if he was fucking. Some stereotypes are fucking true. I miss home. I miss it. I've stayed in London. I never thought I would. I've stayed because I've done the most ridiculous thing that anyone can do. I've fallen in love. Don't do it. Well, I can't remember if it was someone from Denmark in this show. Am I getting shows muddled up? Someone, did you move here for love? Did I get that right? Eventually. At first I was tolerant and now I'm in love, I guess. I've done it. I've stayed for love. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I'd ever fall in love with someone like that. Because I'm going to tell you, he's not the kind of person a girl like me would usually go for. He is a posh boy. Ooh, I don't know how I managed that one. I went on my first date with him and I walked in. I'd met him on a dating app. He sat there and he's in a full suit. He had not been dressed like that in any of his pictures. Waistcoat, tie, everything. I was like, oh, he looks nice. And I went and spoke to him because I'd met him on a dating app. Hadn't heard him speak before. I went, hi, I'm Lauren. I think you're here to meet me. And he looked up and went, oh, I'm Ben. The pleasure's all mine, I'm sure. And suddenly I've got a puzzle in front of his, haven't I, which I've got to piece together. I was like, right, Lauren, listen to how he talks. Look at how he's dressed. It is very obvious what has happened here. Lauren Pattison, you are on a date with a Tory. Stay calm. Don't panic. Do not freak out. It was going to happen at some point, and that day has come today. What are the rules? I can't remember the rules. Am I allowed to get him wet after midnight? Is that Gremlins? Is that Tories? I don't fucking know. And I'm really panicking because this was a year after the Brexit vote, a peak political divide, and I thought, you know what, I'm sick of politics. I'm absolutely sick of politics. Am I going to let politics ruin a date with a lad who I quite like? No, I'm not. I want to get to know him for him. I think he's attractive. He's made us laugh. I just want to enjoy this date with this nice lad. Don't even think about politics, Lauren. And I didn't. And I enjoyed that date with that lad so much. At the end of it, I took him back to me flat and I had sex with him anyway. I did. I really did. And do you want to know why? Because if there's one thing I know with my incredibly limited knowledge of politics, is that the Tories love to fuck the poor. So I knew we'd have the greatest night. Best night of his life. Thank you. There's some places since the result of the Hunger Games that joke feels a lot safer to tell, and here is one of them. Nice though, very nice lad. I went on a couple more dates with him. Even though he was posh, I thought, you know what, you're very different to me, but I like you. But I was really worried that one day he'd sort of wake up and be like, what am I doing with her? I could do so much better than her. And I felt really anxious about sort of the class divide between us. About the third date, he went, do you not like me? You don't have to be here. I went, I do like you, it's just you're so much posher than me, and I'm worried that you're going to think that I'm too scummy or something and you can do better. He went, posh? Me? I'm not posh and I'll prove it. Tell you what, next date, come to my house for dinner, I'll cook you dinner, you'll say I live in a totally normal house. Will that set your mind at ease? I was like, you know what, it would. It really would. So I went round the next night so he could prove he wasn't posh, and I looked at the address, and I looked at the house, and I looked at the address again, and I was faced with a 4-storey house. I felt like I was in Debenhams. It was the best night of my life. I loved it. His house was beautiful. Every story was immaculate. I'm sat in the dining room, a fucking dining room, and he's telling us he's not posh. I was like, how can we watch Coronation Street if we're eating in a different room at Coronation Street? I've never done this before. And he went, why are you so fixated with me being posh? I'm not posh. I went, I don't care if you are, just I've never really dated anyone like you before, and I'm just really worried that I'm not good enough for you. And he went, I've had enough. And he left. For about 10 seconds, I thought, is this house mine now? Is this how people like me get to own property? This is brilliant. But he comes back and he's got a photo album. Now, bear in mind me on 4 dates over the space of about 10 days with this lad. I don't want to look at his family photos. I went, what you brought that for? He went, have a look. You'll say I'm not posh. You'll say I had the same childhood as you. Bet we played with the same toys. Bet we went on the same holidays. Wore the same clothes. My childhood will completely reflect yours in those photos. I'm not posh and I want nothing more said about it. It's like, right, if it means that much to you, and I got halfway through the photos, I went, I've seen enough, and I would like you to put your hand on your heart, look me in the eye, tell me you're posh, accept it, and let's move on. He went, how do you know I'm posh? I went, you have got 5 siblings. He went, yeah, I've got 5 siblings. How does that make us posh? I went, it doesn't, but there's only one dad in all of these photos. Who do you think you are, Lord Farquaad? Fucking hell. He's amazing though. I told you at the start I went to Australia, that's true, I went to Australia and I met him 3 weeks before I went to Australia and I fell hard, so hard in love, and I thought, oh, this could have been a good thing, but I'm fucking off to the other side of the world, he's not going to wait for me. And the day I was going to fly, he went, I want you to be my girlfriend. I went, you've picked a really awkward moment to ask this. I'm going to the other side of the world for 6 months, that's 11,000 miles. He went, you're worth every mile. And I was like, do you think so? Really? When all you've got to do is like keep the spark alive. When you're out there, that's all you've got to do. And that made me panic because that phrase, keep the spark alive, makes me think of sex and sexiness. And I told you before, I don't know how to be sexy. Is anyone watching Love Island? Yeah? You know, the other night the girls had to do that challenge where they get dressed up all like goddesses and they have to do a sexy dance on the boys and raise their heart rate. I'm in awe of that. If I had to do that challenge, I would just do the Macarena with a tit out and hope for the best. Like, I do not know how to be sexy. And I thought, well, fuck, I'm going for 6 months. He wants me to keep the spark alive. I don't know how to be sexy face to face, let alone on the other side of the world. He's going to get bored. He's going to go shag someone else and I'm going to have lost the best thing that's happened to me. And I was really freaking out. And then one day I got a text and I thought, this is it. This is the test. This is the spontaneity sexy test. It said, hey, Lauren, I really miss you. I've been to the shops today and bought some new pants for myself. Winky face. I was like, right, I know what to do here. Think like the Love Island girls. What would they do? What would they do? They would say, show me. And then they will get a text back, a sexy text of him in his pants, and I'll send a sexy text back, me in my underwear, sexy, 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 I can do this, I can keep that spark alive. So I went, show me. He said, I thought you'd never ask. I was like, I am a fucking goddess. This is amazing. I feel so powerful. I feel so sexy. I feel so in charge of my own body. I feel so in charge of my sexuality. This is incredible. I was all fired up and I could not wait to get that picture of him in his pants. I've not seen him in his pants in over 3 months. And then eventually the phone flashed and I grabbed it off the bed. And when I looked, there was a picture. And that picture was 8 pairs of pants. Folded very nicely on his bed. And I felt so embarrassed. I thought, I'm going to come clean. I'm going to say what I thought we were doing. So I said, I thought you were going to show me a picture of you in the pants. I thought you were trying to turn me on. And I got one text back that made me realise I'd made the right decision. I'd fallen in love with the right person. The reply simply said, Lauren, are you not more turned on at how nicely I have folded them? I was like, yes! Yes, I am! Because let's be honest. Lasses, we love a man who looks good in his pants, don't we? But what we love more is one who puts them fucking away. Yes! Yes, please! You're wonderful. 3 years now. 3 years been together. Love him more than anything. I love him so, so much. I would do anything for him. I'm staying in London for him. He's not the most important man in my life, though. And he knows that. I've made that very clear. You might think that's cruel to tell your boyfriend you're not the most important man in my life, but he's not. I'm going to be honest with him, that role was filled 7 years ago. That person is my nephew. My nephew is the most important man in my entire life. And he always will be. He's incredible. I'd do anything for him. I'd take a bullet for him, give him any of my organs, I'd die for him. I do not love anybody as much as I love my nephew. Honestly, I've got a niece, I couldn't give a fuck. Could not care in the slightest. Nephew, I'd do anything for him. And I thought, well, you know what? I talk a lot about my boyfriend. I've got a lot of jokes about him. Why don't I write a joke about the most special man in my life? So I did. I wrote a joke about my nephew that uses his name, needs his name for the joke to work. And my sister heard me tell it, maybe just before Christmas, and she comes storming up to us after. She went, you cannot tell that joke about your nephew. I went, why can't I? She went, well, I've been on a course and I've been learning about pedos. I was like, what kind of course have you been on? And why is that relevant to me doing stand-up? She went, how would you feel if there was a pedo in the crowd? I went, well, it's not a raffle. They're not going to try and claim them. Like, honestly, I don't know what kind of people I'm gigging in front of. I went, why does me using his name affect what kind of people are in the crowd? She went, how would you feel, Lauren, if just for a shit, cheap laugh, you used your nephew's real name in a joke and there was a wrong'un in the crowd and they tracked him down, they identified him, they abducted him, and then you don't have a nephew anymore, all because you wanted to exploit him on stage by using his real name for a laugh. I mean, she's got a point, hasn't she? And you might be thinking, why is she telling us all this? Because it's fucked up the end of me set, because now I know I can't tell the joke. So I hope you can understand why I can't tell the joke, and I haven't been able to think of another joke to replace it with, because it needs his fucking name. But I hope you can appreciate I also can't end on this, can I? I cannot end with this awkwardness. I'm going to tell you one last thing before I go, and that's me niece's name is Maya. So if there's any in, honestly. What I love is there was something being like, where is this going? I'm not comfortable with this. And then when you found out it was just a plain and simple pedo joke, you were like, yeah, very much on board. Yous have been absolutely lovely. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of your Saturday. Lauren, please meet her.
Thanks for watching The Big Show. This has been a Monkey Barrel comedy production. Like everywhere else in the world, Monkey Barrel Comedy has shut its doors due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We are working around the clock to create and produce new content to keep everyone entertained as best we can. However, in order to keep our shows on the air and to ensure we can open our doors again once this crisis has passed, we are asking you for donations. Please take a moment to visit the link in the description and donate whatever you can. Thank you.